Okay, so this video is to teach you a little bit about Fermi questions. They actually are named after a scientist whose last name was Fermi, and he liked to solve these kinds of questions. He actually worked with nuclear physics. So Fermi questions are questions that when you first read them, like this one says, estimate the number of square inches of pizza consumed by students at Payson High School in 1 year. That seems kind of impossible to figure out, just because we don't know precisely exactly how many pieces of pizza every single student ate. But we can actually estimate and come up with a pretty good estimate that's pretty accurate. Now, it may even seem impossible to estimate for you, but I'm going to show you if you break these down into small pieces, they're actually not that hard to do. It's actually really good problem-solving practice to practice breaking down a problem into the smaller pieces, asking yourself, what things do I need to know to solve this problem? And it's also kind of fun to make these estimates. So, for this particular question, there's a couple things we need to know. And for all of these questions, I actually figured out the things that you need to know for you. So I made this assignment pretty easy. The first thing you need to know is the number of square inches of pizza in one slice of pizza. Now this is one of the harder ones to estimate. So think about a piece of pizza. Think about maybe how many inches long it is. We'll let you use inches even though this is science, just because that's what you're more familiar with. So a piece of pizza might be like 6 inches long. I'm just going to draw that on here. It's probably going to be about 6 inches long, and maybe it's like 4 inches across. I'm just making those numbers up. I'm not sure exactly what a normal piece of pizza is, but that's a good guess. Then you need to know the area of a triangle. So the area of a triangle is equal to 1/2 times the base of the triangle, which is 4, times the height of the triangle, which is 6. So 1/2 times 6 times 4. So 6 times 4 is 24. Half of that is 12. So we're going to have about 12 square inches in one slice of pizza. Now we have to come up with an estimate for the number of slices each student eats in a year. So again, that sounds really hard, but let's think about how many slices of pizza each student eats a week. So there are probably people that eat multiple slices of pizza a week. Like they maybe eat a whole pizza every week, or maybe they eat several slices every day. And there's probably a couple of students that don't eat any pizza all year. So we have to come up with something between those. We know that no student is going to eat more than probably 20 pieces of pizza a week, and everyone's going to probably eat more than 0. So I think a good number of slices per student per week is probably maybe 1, like a good estimate. And since there are 52 weeks in a year, we could say that each student eats 52 slices of pizza each year. Now, you might think that's low, you might think that's high. If your estimate was different than this, let's say you estimated like 75 or something, you'd still get a pretty good estimate. With these Fermi questions, if you're like within 1 exponent of the correct answer, you're doing pretty well. So there's a lot of wiggle room here. Now the number of students at Payson High, I don't know the exact number this year, but I do know it's somewhere around like 1,400. So we've got all of the information we need to solve this problem. Again, if you didn't know that there were 1,400 students at Payson High, if you said maybe 2,000, or even if you said like 900, you'd still get a pretty close estimate, pretty close to what I'm going to get. So now I'm just going to grab a calculator. And so there's 1,400 students at Payson High, so we're going to do 1,400. Each of them, we'll say, eats 52 slices of pizza a year, and each slice of pizza is 12 inches squared. So that means the students at Payson High eat, and I'm going to have you write this in scientific notation. So we move the decimal over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 8.736 times 10 to the 5th square inches. All right, so let's just do one more together, and then you can try the rest of them on your own. Okay, So estimate the height of a tower created by the total number of sheets of 8.5 by 11 inch paper used by students at Payson High School in one school year. All right, so sheets used per student in a year. Again, let's think about how many sheets of paper each student